Greetings, Culturians, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we have to talk about something that wasn't on my bingo card, the People Versus Gorilla Grodd. And I'm going to tell you this idea is insane. Why would you take a hyper-intelligent gorilla character, largely reliant on the Flash, from my memory, and why would you try to throw that into something that is linked to Jimmy Olsen? And why is that a series? And why is this the Gunniverse? And why do we even care anymore? There's a lot of questions to ask. But hey, let's see if we can find some answers. Here we go. The Gunn garbage certainly does march on, but my desires to grow past 50K are, well, there as well. So double check you're still subscribed to the channel down below. If not, click the subscribe button. It's free. Hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you hit the bell icon. Turn on all notifications, because likely if you got unsubscribed, you need to do that all over again. At the same time, if you just leave a few comments at the end of the video, that's great. And if you want to make sure that I stay in your feed forever, watch this video all the way to the end and then watch another one of my videos. It really does work, and it's something that YouTube is telling creators these days if they pay attention. But let's get into this story. From The Hollywood Reporter, HBO Max officially orders Jimmy Olsen series. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'd already heard this story before. I thought this was already a done deal. What I didn't know is that the Jimmy Olsen series and the People Versus Gorilla Grodd were the same thing. It's all one package. So DC Studios comedy stars Skyler Gisondo and Jimmy Tatro are matched up with creators Tony Yacenda and Dan Perrault, and they give us this, which is not something I think anybody asked for, but I could be wrong. Look, the next DC Studios series is going to be one that likely will perform as poorly, if not worse, than Peacemaker or anything else coming out of DC Studios, or any of their recent films like Supergirl or even Superman, which, despite the fact that it did okay, wasn't really breaking the bank. And the streamers officially picked up the People Versus Gorilla Grodd, a mockumentary centered on the Daily Planet staffer Jimmy Olsen. Now, the story is 8 episodes long. So Jimmy Tatro is going to be not only starring in this, but also directing it. It's a true crime show. And Grodd, who's in the comics was heck bent on, conquering the world, is being subjected to a series of murder trials, or at least one in the show. So whether Gorilla Grodd was wrongly convicted in one of Metropolis's most famous murders is the show's log line. So, yeah. With Gorilla Grodd, a super intelligent ape and sometime Superman nemesis, in addition to just being a general bad guy in DC, Gisondo is going to reprise his role from the 2025 Superman and give us the Jimmy Olsen character, along with newcomers like Beck Bennett as Steve Lombard and Michaela Hoover as Cat Grant, with Wendell Pierce playing Perry White, and Mary Holland, Eduardo Fianco, and many others from the film showing up. Now, I don't know if anybody cares about this. First of all, was Superman and the side characters memorable enough to carry on a show? I don't know. I do know that the People Versus Gorilla Grodd comes from the American Vandal creators Perrault and Yacenda, and they're going to serve as the showrunners for the show. And we have a feeling that Tatro will have even more influence on this show than maybe even on the Netflix show he just got done with. Now, between Skyler's wonderful performance and the fantastic chemistry of the Daily Planet cast, we knew coming out of Superman that this would be a fun world to explore, said DC Studios heads James Gunn and Peter Safran. We're excited to work with the brilliant Dan Perrault and Tony Yacenda to take on the audience down some of the darker and funnier streets and alleyways of the DCU as Jimmy spotlights the Metropolis criminal justice system for his docuseries. Now, what kind of an idea is this? Is it a good one? Well, I don't know, a mockumentary of a documentary series around crime might just work, but can it work in the context it's being presented, and can it be presented in a more comedic way, which is what it sounds like this is going to try to do. And again, I ask, are any of these characters memorable enough for you to care? Did you watch Superman? Was Superman good in your estimation? And do you think that it's going to carry the day with no Superman? I don't think so, but that's my opinion. Amy Gravitt, an executive VP at HBO of programming, says that we are thrilled to be working with Tony and Dan alongside James, Peter, and the entire DC team, and our colleagues over at Warner Brothers Television to bring these iconic DCU characters to HBO Max in a new and unexpected way. Yeah, unexpected. Like, nobody expected it, nobody wanted it, nobody needs it. And they went with a series order. This is not even just a pilot, which I would have thought you'd want to look at before giving it the green light. Now, mind you, the people here are probably well aware that they're going to be out of a job soon. Once the Warner Brothers Discovery Paramount merger happens, I think DC will change directions. It'll definitely not be Gunn and Safran, but it may be something else entirely, an old other reboot, which is something a lot of people have been worried about. But that's not going to stop these showrunners who say we're excited by the challenge of creating a series that feels less like an entry into the DCU and more like an artifact from it. A Daily Planet original documentary made for the people of Metropolis. Well, and certainly not for anybody that's going to watch it on HBO Max. At least in my opinion, this is going to, well, fail spectacularly. But hey, those are my thoughts. What are yours? In fact, let me know what you think about the People versus Gorilla Grodd down in the comments section below. Again, is a Z-tier rogues gallery character helping to carry forth a crime mockumentary series featuring Jimmy Olsen in a place where there is no Superman? I don't think so. But again, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. And with that, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya. Hopefully watching something more entertaining than the People versus Gorilla Grodd.